Hi, my name is Yugani Surman Balan. My metric number is 143470. So in this video, I would like to review the book that I read, which is entitled Forgive Me, Leonard Peacock by Matthew Quick. So this is a very contemporary novel that revolves around the life of a depressed and suicidal teenager. So the book starts off with how Leonard Peacock is having a breakfast while he is lamenting the fact that his mother does not even remember his birthday. Okay, so then he continues to wrap 4 different gifts for his friends. So these friends are completely different from each other. The first one being the oldest, who is 70 years old. This friend is actually Leonard's neighbor. They both watch old Bogart films together whenever they have free times. Then there is a Pakistani exchange student who is excellent at playing violin. So thirdly, there is a devoted Christian girl who Leonard has a crush on, so there's a bit of romance in this book as well. And lastly, Leonard's teacher who teaches Holocaust. So there's a lot of references of World War II in this book. Okay, so then he proceeds to wrap one last gift for his former best friend. That gift was a gun that belongs to Leonard's grandfather that was used to kill a Nazi in World War II. So here we understand the intention of Leonard Peacock. That is, he wants to kill his former best friend. Then he plans to off himself. So we would actually question a lot, like, why does he want to kill his own best friend and then kill himself? So there's a lot of secrets that buried deep within Leonard that we would actually come across in the climax of this story. So I've heard a lot of people crying after reading this book, but for me it did not really make me cry, but rather it made me feel really bad for the main character. The climax of the story would reveal a very, very shocking truth about the main character and would make you feel very, very sorry for him. It would make one think, if one had gone through what Leonard had went through in his life, would you have done the same thing? At some point I was very convinced that his motive to kill his own best friend was somewhat justified, but that would put you in the wrong side of your own moral belief. So there's a clash in your own moral stand. Apart from that, this book also explores friendships and also family bonds. Ironically, that was what this book was missing. So the most notable characters in this book are just a few that I previously mentioned. Being the depressed and introverted teenager Leonard is, he does not really have a lot of relationship with many people. So the story mainly takes place in a high school and train stations where Leonard would meet Lauren, a devoted Christian girl Leonard has a crush on. So I personally enjoy the romance story in this novel because romance and relationship is what's missing in my life. Anyway, I like this book a lot. It takes us on an emotional roller coaster of a depressed and suicidal teenager. So it really puts us into the perspective of how a depressed and suicidal teenager would feel. However, I did not really like the ending because it was pretty abrupt. Because there's a lot of questions that the main character asked in the beginning of the book, and it was not answered at all in the end of the book. So Leonard asked a lot of deep questions about life, and I wanted to know the answer to these questions too, but it was not really answered. So this question that he asked in the beginning of the book was what propelled him to commit suicide. So it felt like the book's ending was just hanging. There were a lot of questions that needed to be answered, but it was not answered. So apart from that, regardless, I would give this book a 7.5 out of 10 because this book kept me turning the pages to find out more about the protagonist's story. So I would actually recommend this book to anyone who's interested in the genre of young adults or contemporary novel, because this is actually a good read. So that's all from me. Thank you.